A consumer first alert this morning. We're helping you prepare for federal student loan repayments starting back up in October. There's a free program to help answer your questions and maybe even reduce your monthly payments. And we're talking this morning with Cheryl Rapp, College Investment Program Finance Officer with the Wisconsin Department of Financial Institutions. Good to have you with us here, Cheryl. So start by explaining for us what's happening this fall with the student loan payments, because people haven't had to make payments since the pandemic.
Yeah. Good morning. Thank you for having me. So yes, as we know, student loan repayments are going to be starting up again. There are borrowers who have federal student loans that haven't had to make a payment since before the pandemic. And there's actually those that had graduated during the pandemic and don't know or have never had to actually pay for their student loans. So come August 31st, that forbearance that was in place will actually be ending. So that means September 1st, federal student loans will actually start accruing interest, and your first payment will happen in October. So some things to expect when repayments actually start up again. Borrowers will be notified by their loan servicer about resuming their payments in October. So we want to make sure that your contact information is updated on the loan servicer's website, also on studentaid.gov. So if you don't know your loan servicer, if you go into studentaid.gov, you can log into your account and find out who the servicer is, or you can actually call the Federal Student Aid Information Center, which that number is 800-433-3243, and find out.
So we know that
if you enrolled,
people have a lot of questions, obviously, about this. I mean, there's a lot, that's happening with this. So the state understands that and has a free online tool, and then also a workshop coming up. So we wanted to let people know about that because that's where they're going to get their questions answered.
Yep. So we wanted to help borrowers prepare. So my agency, which is Department of Financial Institutions, and the Wisconsin Department of Agricultural Trade and Consumer Protections, we're offering a free student loan debt relief workshop that you mentioned. That's actually going to be tomorrow, August 15th, from 12:30 to 1:30. Registration is required, but it's free to join. So during this workshop, federal student loan borrowers will learn how to use our Wisconsin student loan repayment tool, which is free. It was created by a public benefit corporations company called Savvy. Their student loan experts are actually going to answer questions about federal student loan repayments and explain how their tool can help borrowers navigate the complexity of federal student loans, so in forgiveness programs and lowering student loan repayments. So Wisconsin is going to be providing this tool for free during the initial pilot, which is going to be over the next year.
And since the pandemic, Cheryl, a lot of people's student loans have transferred companies. And we also know that there's scammers out there who use this time to try and trick people. So what do people want to know and need to know about the scams that are out there?
Yeah, what people should actually be aware of, if a company charges you an upfront fee to reduce your debt, it's a scam. You will never be charged an upfront fee. Loan forgiveness takes time, so avoid promises of immediate loan forgiveness or cancellation. It doesn't happen immediately at all. Companies that require you to give them your federal student aid ID, which is known as FSA ID, are scammers. Your FSA ID is a private number, so don't give it out to anybody. And if they actually claim that a program that has a special relationship with the government or with the Department of Education, that's not true. Borrowers should actually research approved lenders on the Department of Education website, because nobody has a special relationship of I can figure out how to save you or do a loan forgiveness through the government. People should also be aware that during the pandemic, their loans may have been transferred to new servicers. So if you hear of Mohila, they actually are the company that's part of U.S. Department of Education that probably has taken over your student loans.
All right, Cheryl, thank you for being with us. We know a lot of people have questions, and you can get those answered. That student loan workshop, the free workshop, preparing for those payments to resume. It's Tuesday afternoon from 12:30 to 1:30. It's a free webinar. You do have to register in advance, and we have a link to get you started at wbay.com/links.